Sí, están solo ahí. Sí. Ya mira qué prioridades hay. Primero la cocina y ya luego se va a poner a lavar un poquito de ropa, luego sube y empieza lo de los baños a ver cómo están. No hay necesidad de lavarlo adentro si ya está pues bien. Ya se va mirando. Listo, ya la ven, chao. Right, but you have to learn how.
Are you going to write to me? Yeah, I believe so. The other thing is I was disappointed with the physiotherapy. They canceled my appointment at the last hour and they haven't bothered to rebook it. And they gave me a very poor service. Very, very poor service. Whoever the physiotherapist was. Can you chase it up for me, please?
Hola.
Okay, fine.
¿Cómo pone a lavar? Sí, clasifica la ropa, pues no la negra, sino la normal. La voltea al derecho. Que no hayan toallas. Luego mete toda la ropa. Ay, ya no le enseñó pues a tirar la lavadora.
And we'll send a letter probably to Mabella also.
Porque es que es nada más como...
No, I don't think so. It's just physiotherapy.
No, mejor vean.
He says you might need replacement in the long term.
Que ellos en media horita regresan, entonces pues
But
ya le dicen
I
que
haven't
le
reached
enseñen.
that stage.
Sí. Yo no me acuerdo porque es que no me doy tantas lavadoras, que yo no me acuerdo ya de eso. Sí, entonces ponga la ropita ahí ya organizadita. Ya. Ahí hay un tanquecito arribita, jala la cosita, le mete el detergente y el suavizante y ya la cierra y ya la deja lista para que ella venga y lo enseñe. Ellas no regresan sino hasta media hora. Ahí. Un cepillo.
Hello, welcome.
Thanks.
No. Sí, le echan la patita del detergente, le echan el suavizante y ya lo deja ahí para que ella le
A lot of
enseñe.
traffic right now.
Y yo le mandé la contraseña del Wi-Fi para que la ponga. Sí. Listo. Y entonces si organiza abajo.
You finished it?
It kills me when I see that. But that's the concept of every day there's a problem. What would a balloon do? And why? And so then, and so there's that too. Like, here's the problem with this room. There's so many other approaches to education.
Which one? Church. Lisa, Lisa is your niece? Lisa, your niece?
a la espera en estas oficinas para que venga y la atienda.
Answer. Huh?
Una hora, one.
One tomorrow. But and when she go to Colombia. Then there will be you, Lisa, and Joe in the flat.
Regresa. Es muchacha.
After that,
Luego quedan tú y Eli.
we'll find some. You found anybody to stay?
Next stop for the cruise.
Thank you. Next
All
time.
right, bro. Good customer service.
Okay.
If any of you guys on the big bus are looking for a great place to take the children, then you should check out what's on at the Unicorn Theatre in Southwark. It's one of the country's leading young people theatre companies. The whole place is dedicated to entertaining children. There's also a very nice cafe in there that can host children's birthday parties, and it serves some delicious cakes. If you are in Southwark, close to London Bridge, then you must go to a pub. Not just any pub, oh no. This is the last remaining 17th century coaching inn in Southwark, and it's called the George. So old England, with its oak trees and Elizabethan courtyard, and its delicious selection of draft beers.
Marshalsea was a really horrible prison in Southwark, and one that Charles Dickens was very familiar with, as he would come here as a boy to visit his dad, who, like most of the inmates there, was in prison because of his debts. Marshalsea was a horrible place, but don't take my word for it. By the power of a big bus time machine, let's go back to 1842. This is St. Charles Dickens.
This is,
Prison was demolished in 1870, but you can still see a plaque on the wall showing where it stood over in Angel Place. Dickens wrote,
It's gone now, and the world is none the worse without it.
Okay folks, it's time to get ready to take some amazing photos as we will soon be driving over the most iconic of London's 35 bridges.
This is the bridge you always see movies when they want to tell you we are in London.
요님 안녕하세요. 어서 오세요. 녹색 물개님 안녕하세요.
One side of the bridge you can see the
London Bridge.
People think that it just has to be makes them. Very end 19th century and was designed to fit seamlessly into the local area. In particular, the medieval architecture, tower, gigantic seesaws. It opens to allow larger river traffic to pass through and does it around 800 times a year. And if you're feeling brave, there are glass floor walkways spanning the two towers. Cross them if you dare.
Because information is still going on. I'll take it, but I'm still listening to the
It's actually a fortified castle built by Norman French King William the Conqueror after he won the crown in 1066.
The largest building on four spires in the centre, all built in 1097 to demonstrate his power to his new subjects.
It was a palace too.
Oh yes, one famous resident of the palace was Anne Boleyn, Henry VIII's second, who stayed in the luxurious royal apartments here through her coronation to Queen Visitors come and admire the beauty, both crown jewels and tower.
버스 가는 대로 지금 가고 있거든요. 오늘 비가 무지 많이 왔어요 여기.
Which way to the cruise?
At Clyde, turn left. Thank you.
No. The taxi was fun.
And they're not. Somewhere in Belgium.
네, 여우님 여기 지금 런던이에요. 여우님 구글 맵 보고 여기를 돌아다니는 게 강물이네. 물 색깔이.
Big bus?
Anybody here? West.
We're just sending the individual.
Mommy's gonna give us my brother.
तुमने आइसक्रीम फालतू में बोले
আমি খাবো না, ওর শরীর খারাপ।
Nope, this is my phone. Here, you can scoot over. Okay. Don't push. No, my pillow. No, you're gonna fall. Better stand up and fix it. Stand up and fix it. There you go. Okay, okay. Not sure. Do you want to go with mommy and see the outside? Oh, that's a great idea.
Is this boat not gonna
इधर आ जाओ ना.
Oh yeah, this boat will fit under.
Why?
Open? Keep off there.
Well, a very good afternoon to you all, ladies and gentlemen.
Good afternoon.
Well, that was a thoroughly underwhelming response from the top deck, wasn't it? Shall we try this again? Good afternoon to you all, ladies and gentlemen. There we go, you've woken up. Welcome aboard the City Gamma for your cruise up to Westminster tonight. As we leave the piers, we are required by law to give a quick safety announcement. Now, this isn't meant to alarm you, this is just to inform you that the vessel you're on, the City Gamma, is licensed by the Maritime Coast Guard Agency and the Port of London authorities. We do carry a full complement of life-saving equipment on board. This comes in the forms of life jackets, life rafts and life vests. Now, in the highly unlikely event of an emergency, good luck. I'm just seeing if any of you are actually listening. I'd ask that you please remain seated, remain calm, and follow strict instructions given to you by a uniformed, trained member of the crew. A little bit of housekeeping for everyone on board. If you're on the top deck, it is a seated deck. This is so the captain can have a clear field of vision around him as we travel on the river. You can see it gets very busy here on the Thames. He needs to see what's going on. If you wish to stand, you can stand at the very back of the boat. Also, please, no standing on the seats, no waiting on the stairs. Again, this is for your safety. We have had people slip and fall before. We've then had to take the boat out of service, call 999 and send them to the hospital because of their injuries. I really don't need that much paperwork in my life. So please, no standing on the seats, no waiting on the stairs. We understand you want to get the best photos possible, but the 40 centimetres you gain from standing on a seat will not make that difference. We will get you to the spot you need to be in. This is our job, we're quite good at it. So just trust us. Now that's out of the way, you've got two options for your cruise. Option one, the company does provide an audio guide in the price of your ticket, but like most things in this modern age, it comes in the form of an app. So if you really wanted to, you could go downstairs to the bar, you could grab one of the leaflets, you could turn it over to the back, get your phone out, scan the QR code, and then wait while the little wheel goes round and round. I don't know how long that will take to download. We might be at Westminster by that point. If it does download in time, you select one of the languages and it will rattle off facts and figures in a very boring, robotic way that might send some of you off to sleep. Then, once you've finished listening to it, you can delete the app because you'll never use it again. Or option two, I can join you live on the microphone, passing on some of the knowledge we as the crew have learned over our many years on this river in something of a live commentary. But it's up to you folks, I'll put it to a vote. So hands up for option number one. It's just the captain. He's had enough of me already today. And hands up for option number two. Well, you've been outvoted skips, so I'll give it my best shots. But I have to warn you all, I'm not a paid or trained tour guide, I'm the mate on board. I'm here for your safety. So if I do get anything wrong, please do all just feel free to keep it to yourself. We're turning the boat now, giving you the lovely side-on view of Tower Bridge. It's one of the younger bridges on the Thames, opened in 1894. It looks very old, but it's not. Structurally, it's made of metal. All the stonework here is so it stays in keeping with the Gothic look of the Tower of London, just ahead of us. If you look up at the walkways, these used to be open-topped. They had to be closed because of the high suicide rate. They're now fully enclosed. They put glass floors in the middle. That is reopened as the Tower Bridge Experience. You can pay to go up there, walk across, stand on the glass in the middle and look directly down at the bridge below you. But ladies, be careful what you wear if you go up there. Go on a trouser day. There's been reports of a very strange man standing at the bottom with a pair of binoculars looking up. But if you went today, ladies, it doesn't matter what you wear, you'll be absolutely fine. Because that very strange man is up here driving the boat. And on the right we have the Tower of London. In the middle, the White Tower, the Norman Keep. That's the original part built by William the Conqueror. The other parts were added over the years by following kings and queens. Now in there you do have the very famous Bloody Tower. But you can't see the Bloody Tower from here because someone planted some bloody trees in a bloody way. Now ahead of us, on the left-hand side, you may not see it, it does have camouflage paint. That is London's very own warship, the HMS Belfast. Launched on St Patrick's Day, 1938, having been built in the very same docks as the ill-fated Titanic. Her main armament was 6 guns at the front, 6 14 miles. She's now permanently moored here as an extension to the Imperial War Museum. You can pay to go on there. You can go in and out all of those open hatches, up and down all the accessible ladders, exploring all 9 of her decks, from the engine room below the waterline to the captain's lookout way up at the top. It's a fantastic way to lose your children for a couple of hours. She was one of the first ships to fire the opening volleys on the D-Day landings at the shores of Normandy, last firing them in anger in the Korean War conflict. Now over on the right you've got a building with a black and gold clock and 6 black chimneys. Now that's the home of customs and excise for the United Kingdom. Any contraband found at our borders, any illegal alcohol, tobacco or drugs are brought here, and they're stored in their secure basement for 1 year until they are incinerated, allegedly. Now the captain and I have been on this river for quite some time now, and we've never seen a single puff of smoke come out of those chimneys, but we do hear their Christmas parties are rather spectacular. On the left, Western Europe's tallest building, the Shard of Glass, over 1,000 feet tall to the top. Inside there's offices, shops, restaurants, the 6-star Shangri-La Hotel and Spa, and at the very top, luxury apartments. The designer was an Italian man called Lorenzo Piano. He was offered £5 million for his drawing of a triangle, and he turned it down. He said instead he wanted the 4-bed penthouse suite, and he got it. He lived up there before selling it on to an American rapper and music producer called Will I Am, and it was sold to him for a rumoured £37 million. Now this next bridge is the world famous London Bridge. The one behind us is called Tower Bridge. This is London Bridge. People often get them confused. I'm going to give you a little tip on how to remember which one's which. Are you ready? Alright, see, Tower Bridge has got 2 towers, and London Bridge has the words London Bridge written on the side. Nice little tip there. The 5th one to have stood here. The first was built by the Romans about 2,000 years ago. The first one burnt down, the second one fell down. That's where we get the nursery rhyme. London Bridge is falling down. Now coming up underneath the next bridge, we're coming to my personal favourite part of the journey. It's one for the grown-ups on board, so children, look away. The glass windows underneath that next bridge on the right is your chance to potentially see some semi-naked people. That's a health spa, put there because there's no roads or walkways going past. But they seem to forget that every 20 minutes, someone like me comes past with a group of lovely people like you. If there's anyone in there, as there is today, here's what we do. My friend the captain will honk the horn. I point, and he runs away. Do you think he was a little bit embarrassed? Now some days are better than others. We have been known to turn around for a second look. And yesterday was a particularly good day. On the left, there's a small brick building with red windows and a gold sign. That is the Anchor Tavern. There's been a pub on that site for over 400 years. Many famous people have been known to drink in there, like Samuel Pepys, the famous diarist. William Shakespeare, he used to use the attic as his changing room. Tom Cruise at the end of one of the Mission Impossible films. And later tonight, me and the captain. We hope to be in there by 8:30 if nothing goes wrong. But what we do in there is research. It's the very important research we put into the commentary I'm giving you right now. We take this very seriously. Sometimes we're in there for hours. It's very thirsty work. But it's a sacrifice we're willing to make for all of you. Is everyone enjoying the live commentary so far?
Yes, great.
Do you mean you want me to carry on?
Yes.
Oh, all right then. Over on the left, there's a white and timber frame building with a thatched roof, the replica of William Shakespeare's Globe Theatre. The original one burnt down after they set off a cannon on the stage as a sound effect, and a spark set fire to the thatched roof. Now on a nice sunny day like today, when they've raised the red flag, that means you can go in there for just £10 and see one of Shakespeare's plays put on in the traditional way. And if you know the price of live entertainment in London, I think you'll all agree with me. £10 for live entertainment in London is very reasonable. Now on the right, dominating the skylines, the top of St Paul's Cathedral, Sir Christopher Wren's masterpiece. 365 feet exactly to the top of the cross. It's the second largest unsupported cathedral dome in the world, beaten only by St Peter's in the Vatican City. Now you can normally pay £23 to go in there, have a look round, learn all the history inside, and then climb the over 500 steps to the top of that dome to the viewing balcony. I think I see someone up there right now. But a bit of local knowledge for you. If you're here on a Sunday, it's open to the public for Mass. So it's free. Well, I say it's free, that is a church. They'll get you towards the end. You'll find someone walking around with a silver champagne bucket asking for donations. Now they don't want your coins. If you put metal coins in a metal bucket during the silence of Mass, you interrupt everyone deep in thought and prayer. So they ask for your £5, £10, £20 and even £50 notes. It's what they like to call a silent donation. Now ahead of us we have the Blackfriars Bridges. The first one is the railway bridge. It's actually also the railway station. You can see a train pulling in this way and another one pulling out the other. So we are about to sail directly underneath a fully working railway station. The second one is the road and footbridge that was built by the Victorians. But they're better known to us that work on the Thames as the Tunnels of Love. It's been said if you turn to one that you love underneath these arches and give them a kiss, you're due 7 years of happiness. But if you're not with the one that you love, you could always turn to your husband or your wife. Single ladies, I'm very sorry, I am married. But the captain is single. So if you just make a nice orderly queue, I'll send him out here. On the right, there's a construction site, one of 13 along the banks of the river, part of the Thames Tideway Tunnel project. They're building the new sewage system for London. We still run on the Victorian sewers that were built for 1 million people. We're getting close to having 10 million people in London today, and it's regularly overflowing, polluting the Thames. Now that wasn't seen as a problem until it started to smell up at Westminster. Because we know when it's a problem for politicians, they find the money to fix it. Now well over its £5 billion budget and way past its due date, and I think you can see why. There's only 6 of them working there today, and none of them are doing anything. That crane driver's on Facebook. I'm sure it'll get finished one day, who knows? But we're just passing slowly because they have these flags up. The top one is Romeo, the bottom Yankee. When displayed together on the Thames, it means pass slowly and with caution. On the right, on the river wall, you might see some green metallic lions' heads with rings in their mouths. These were put in by the Victorians, but they're not for mooring up boats. That's a common misconception. They're actually part of an early flood warning system. You can see the average high tide mark in that green moss on the wall. It was said if there was a surge tide and the water covered the lions' mouths, that London was at risk of flooding. So the Metropolitan Police, while walking their beat, would look over the side of the wall. If it got to that level, they'd continue up here to the blue phone box on the right, the only one of its kind left in London. They would unlock it, phone the underground stations and give them a code word, ordering them to shut for fear of flooding. Now they would talk a couple of rhymes for this. See if you can finish them with me. When the lions' heads are drinking, London surely will be sinking. Very good. If the water is up to the lions' manes, London goes down the drains. If you know the answer to this one, keep it to yourself. There are some children on board. When the lions' heads are fully ducked, London is well and truly flooded. Flooded. I'm sure there's a better one. Ahead of us on the right hand side you'll see a black and white boat with a black awning. That is the former royal barge, the St Catherine. Years ago, any time the royal family wanted to come out on the Thames, that's the boat they would have used. They now have a much newer, much nicer barge called the Gloriana that was custom built for Queen Elizabeth II. Now the Gloriana is reserved for King Charles and Prince William. When Harry comes back to London, they make him take that one. Flood tide, it's pushing us through the water at the moment. And ahead of us we have Waterloo Bridge, better known as the Ladies' Bridge. That's because while the men were fighting during the Second World War, it was the ladies that kept this nation going. They built this bridge and they came under enemy fire from above. Whilst doing so, there are still some bullet marks on the front. Now it's the longest bridge to span the upper reaches of the Thames, and it's the only bridge in this river's history ever to have been built both on time and under budget. So well done to the ladies. Over on the right, you'll see a building with a green roof. That's the very expensive Savoy Hotel. The cheapest room in there is about £1,000 for the night. And that's a room that faces the road, not the river. If you wanted to stay in the royal suite underneath that flagpole on New Year's Eve, it would set you back more than £20,000 for the night. But don't feel too bad for them. That does come with a complimentary full English breakfast with 2 sausages. The stone obelisk on our right, that's the oldest thing you'll see on our journey, Cleopatra's Needle, over 3,000 years old. Given to us by a very thankful Egyptian government after our victory over the French at the Battle of the River Nile. Built in pairs, the twin to that sits in Central Park, New York City. It's covered in hieroglyphics. Not many people can read those, but you're in luck. I did a term of ancient Egyptian at college. So I can tell you above the black wings it says the words, made in Egypt. And ahead of us we have the Charing Cross Railway Bridge and the 2 Jubilee footbridges, one either side. Now what we like to do here, folks, is a tradition for everyone on the top deck, is my friend the captain has a wicked sense of humour. He likes to honk the horn at the people on the bridge, you know, wake them up a bit. And if you're on the top deck, give all those people up there a wave and see if they wave back. Oh, wave! Hello! Now, it's very important you get people to wave on these bridges, it's for your safety. Because if they're waving at us, they can't throw anything at us. You think I'm joking. We'll try again on this side. See who's up there. Hello! Hey! On the left, the London Eye. Built in the year 2000 for British Airways. There's 32 individual pods, that's not a random number. They represent the 32 boroughs of London. It's only meant to stand there for a few years, but it's still here to this day for one very good reason. Money. It was leaked that on its busiest day in the peak of summer, it can bring in a profit in excess of £250,000 per day. Now the latest craze is to get married in one of those pods on the London Eye. But I wouldn't recommend it, folks. Marriage. You start at the bottom with 20 or so of your closest friends and family saying your vows as you go up to the top. At the top, for all the money that you've given them, they stop the eye for 60 seconds. They pronounce you to be husband and wife, you may kiss the bride. Aww. And then, much like marriage, it's all a bit downhill from there. And ahead of us, I'm sure you all think you can see Big Ben from here, don't you? But actually you can't. Big Ben is the name of the bell inside that tower. It's 13.5 tons. It rings on the hour and on the hour alone. The other bells you hear through the day, these are called the Chimes of Westminster. The tower itself was actually renamed a few years ago after our last and longest reigning monarch, Queen Elizabeth II. That is the Elizabeth Tower. And behind it, you'll see the House of Palace of Westminster. To give you a sense of scale of how big that palace is, if you look at the Victoria Tower at the back, the biggest one, the flag flying from that pole is the size of a tennis court. It's the second palace to have stood there though. The first was made of wood, and where Guy Fawkes failed, 2 drunk politicians succeeded. They were having a drink inside one of the bars, and they got into an argument which turned into a fight, and they knocked over a flaming torch. They burnt the palace to the ground. Who would have thought, eh? Politicians drinking at work. And behind it you would find Westminster Abbey. That's where the King had his coronation just over a year ago. We're just turning the boat now. We're going to start heading into our next stop, Westminster Pier, for the Houses of Parliament and Westminster Abbey. If you have one-way tickets, bus tickets, or this is your stop, this is where you leave us. If everyone can please remain seated while we come alongside the pier. When you come alongside a pier on the Thames, it is a contact sport. There may be a small bump as the captain brings the boat alongside, and I don't want anyone falling over and injuring themselves. It would ruin your day and mine, mainly because I do not like paperwork. Or if you're simply not listening to me, just carry on with what you do. If you are leaving us here, have a good look round where you're seated. Make sure you take everything with you that you brought today. Take your phones, your wallets, your bags, your passports, your husbands, your wives, other people's husbands, other people's wives, and your children. Please take all of your children, not just the ones that you like. You wouldn't believe how many kids get left behind here. It's truly shocking.
여운님
We have to take them home at the end of the day. I've got 5 indoors at the minute.
이런 걸
None of them speak English. Dinner time is extremely stressful, so please take your kids.
고맙습니다.
And a couple of words about the commentary I've been giving you on the way here. As I said to you at the beginning, I am not a paid or trained tour guide. I'm the mate on board. I'm here for your safety. You're not charged in the price of your ticket for a live commentary, as it simply wouldn't be fair. Because as I look around your beautiful faces here on the top deck, and those I can see on the cameras downstairs, I can tell that some of you have not understood a single word that I've been saying. But if you have understood, you've been informed, maybe even a little entertained, and you wish to show a voluntary appreciation for my efforts, you're more than welcome to. As you leave the boat today, downstairs at the exit next to me will be the captain's silver champagne ice bucket. That's our tip bucket, folks. Put anything in you like, a couple of bob. If you don't know what a couple of bob means, it's a good job, I'm here to help. It's your loose change, so that's your 5, 10, 20 and 50 pound notes, $100 bills, €500 notes, Rolex watches, bottles of beer, keys to Ferraris, and single ladies' telephone numbers for the captain. Anything you put in there is purely voluntary, as were my few words, but just remember this as you walk past that bucket downstairs at the exit next to me. I'm the one who helps you over the gap. So yes, we do accept the St Paul's silent donation. Thank you very much for your kind attention, folks. This next stop is Westminster. I hope you've enjoyed my few words. I hope you have a fabulous time here in sunny London. And, as always, God save the King. Thank you very much.
여우님 감사합니다. Thank you so much.
Spontaneous remarks.
Bence bir saat 20 dakika bekleyeceğiz, ondan sonra gideceğim.
Going over to the right-hand stop.
Yep. If someone wants the eye, it's actually quicker to walk across.
Hi there. Hi. We will be going to the eye next, yeah, but what you can also do there, which might be quicker, is get off here and walk across. That might actually be quicker if you just walk. Up to you, entirely up to you, but we'll be stopping there next. Or you can stay here. Yeah. Up to you, or you can, yeah. I mean, you just walk across. Okay, thank you. Just be careful of the ramp here when you go, okay? Yeah. Be careful of the ramp. Mind your step.
Thank you.
Thank you. Careful of the ramp.
I hope you enjoyed it.
एक अलग से बुक कर देंगे ना
Or dito muna kayo.
Why did you call me?
이제 밖에 나왔거든요. 여운님 감사합니다. Guys, thank you for watching. 막 속이 울렁울렁하고 막 그러네요.
I thought it was from
여기가 런던 거브맨 국회 의사당 그런 곳이라고 제가 그렇게 들었거든요. 그럼 여기서 피니시 하도록 할게요. 고맙습니다. 땡큐. 좋은 아침 되시고 이제 피니시 할게요. 지금 런던이 시계 보이죠? 끝낼게요. Bye. See you.